Hi there, welcome to my channel, Dita's Hair Wellness. On this channel, I try to talk about conditioning. I always talk about damaged hair, but most of all, I talk about what you can do at home, how you can try to change your hair wellness through your conditioning at home. We don't always understand conditioning, and without it, we're nowhere with getting or taking care or stopping our hair damage. So you know that your hair is dry, but you still don't know what to do to get rid of the dryness. You use moisturizing conditioners, and yet you're still dry, maybe even drier the following year or months later. So dryness is a problem. And if I can help you through my advice, my experience of working with damaged hair for over 30 years. I often say 20, 25, 30, but it's really has been over 30 years in specializing in damaged hair. I would like to show you some different ways of thinking about your conditioning habits and hopefully changing your hair wellness, maybe taking your hair to the next level of wellness. If you can understand your damage, then it's you that has to save you from your damage. So we're going to learn how to condition from inside out and not outside in. We'll explain more about that type of conditioning later. But my main concern here is that this channel reaches out to those who are uh, struggling with damaged hair, but really understand that nobody understands their problem. They have a complex problem. Either their health is in an issue, or either they've chemically treated too much, or they have just taken the wrong word, wrong road to conditioning. And so therefore they're ending up in a more confused place than they were before. So what do you do when your hairline comes out? How do you get to understand the layers of damage that you've acquired over the years? And then how are you going to take care of that? And what should you do to take care of it? What we need is answers. What you need is someone talking to you that's not trying to sell you a product. So I hope that I can uh, take care of this channel where you can have answers and also see your problems or your hair problems clear up. We're summarizing, I'm summarizing the last year's work. So we're changing the format a little bit. We'll be talking about hair facts, so we won't have hair facts today. And we will be answering email questions um, just to make sure that I finish all the 24 email questions up. I want to thank you for sending your email questions to ditahair911 at gmail.com. I like answering your hair questions, and it lets me know what information you need to help you further your conditioning. Today we wanted to go over, um, I wanted to go over shampooing and then shampooing with swimming. That's been a confused conversation. So let's try to answer some things that help clarify. Shampooing, you don't want to over shampoo because, of course, you take away your natural oils. And you want to keep your natural oils so that your scalp can be the healthiest it can be. And it will also help it retain moisture and your hair retain moisture. So it's good to have a healthy scalp. So you don't want to wash away your acid mantle. That's the oil that is on your scalp. It's your sebum. And so we want to not use other oils in a way that it can hurt or disturb the scalp. It's very important that we keep our natural consistency. The life cycles are 3 life cycles for hair. So you want to make sure you go through those life cycles and nothing gets stuck in your hair follicles don't get stuck in a resting stage. So shampooing is very important. And so shampooing, you want to shampoo twice within 10 days. So that means that you can rinse the other days. When you shampoo, you want to shampoo twice. So you rinse very well with good warm water. You put amount of shampoo that's appropriate for your hair. and you put it to the thickest part of your hair, which is in the back. And then work your hair forward. Work the shampoo forward using a little bit of water to maneuver it. Once you lather up a lather, you rinse very well. And then, of course, you're rubbing, massaging the scalp, and you're doing a thorough shampoo. So you're going to rinse, then you reapply the shampoo, and you shampoo again. So when you do shampoo, you're going to shampoo twice within one shampoo session. So that's going to be a good, because you're going to, you should lather up both times. If you're not lathering up, it might be a moisture problem because you need more deep conditioning. So the hair is literally absorbing all the conditioners from the shampoo. So you want to make sure you're shampooing twice so the scalp and the hair gets enough conditioners while it's being shampooed. You like to be a squeaky clean. You don't need shampoos leaving coatings where you can't tell if your hair is dry. You need to be able to know when your hair is dry and how much is dry, and you do that by monitoring it, looking for the red flags of dryness. So frizziness is a red flag of dryness. Sometimes limpness can be. They do give you a description of too much moisture makes your hair limp. However, if your hair is extremely dry, it will make it limp as well. So you want to shampoo twice within one session. And then after that, it's good to do a deep conditioning. That's what I like to do because it helps the hair get not only the conditioning that was taken away, but it also helps it hold conditioning longer. So you want to shampoo and try to deep condition, or with heat, of course, deep condition with heat after your shampoo. So you want to get a routine where you know it's every 10 days. You're not rubbing your hair. You're patting your hair dry. It needs to be a dry damp prior to putting on your conditioners. If you're doing a deep conditioner, then of course it's a dry damp. And then of course you put on your conditioners very heavily and get underneath your thin plastic cap and then your heat cap. Heat capping instructions is on my Facebook, Dita Damaged Hair. You can copy it from there. You should be able to copy it from there. But we've talked about it and we went over it in my recent post. So shampooing. So now the question is, you're a swimmer and you're always in the water and you feel like you want to wash that chlorine out. You feel as if you need to, it's not your time to shampoo. However, you've been in a pool that's dirty and it has chlorine. So you feel as if, oh, I need to shampoo again to get all that stuff out. If you're conditioning very well and you're on top of your deep conditioning, you shouldn't have a problem with the chlorine getting inside your hair too hard. In other words, it will absorb some and it will cause you to be dry, but you're going to follow up with your deep conditioning. So therefore, it will counteract what the pool does. I do approve of a rinse. You don't necessarily, if you really feel like you've been in the pool a long time. I know I spent about 2 hours. So I like to run a little shampoo through my hair to feel as if, it gets the gunk out of it or the dirt out of it. Um, yes and no. Yes, the pools are dirty, but they do have chlorine, and that's very stripping. So you really have to watch how you shampoo around your swimming. So you think about it like this. If you have been in the pool, you don't have a swim cap. And remember, even though you have a swim cap, your hair will get wet. It just won't be laying in the water in the chlorine. They say the most damage on chlorine is above the water. So, it's just not a good atmosphere for our hair. So if we can apply our conditioner prior to getting in the pool, so before you even hit for the pool, apply your conditioner on dry hair. And then go ahead and when you get there, you can rinse lightly, but obviously put your swim cap on. Now, I have a problem with holding the swim cap on. My hair I have not found a cap yet that will stay with me in the water. So I'm still looking, but I'm still having issues. And sometimes I think the swim caps that go around your ears, they help stay on better. And they have their little ear cup there. So it holds on the cap longer. But let's say you can't find a cap and you're going swimming. Here again, pull your hair back into a ponytail, or either if you have shorter hair that can't go into a ponytail, no worries. You're going to still apply your conditioner on dry. When you get to the pool, you'll rinse lightly. And then, of course, you go ahead and get in the pool and do your exercises or whatever you need to do. When you come out, you can just like run shampoo through it. You don't have to rub and scrub to get the dirt out. It's not going to adhere to your hair that hard or your scalp. So what you want to do is just maybe run some shampoo on your hands and then run it through your hair without rubbing, just lightly run it through. And then, of course, maybe just lightly massaging, or I don't want to massage at all. I don't want you to massage at all. I want you to um, rinse and then just run the shampoo through. It doesn't need to have a shampoo at that time like you would at home, 2 shampoos with your session. You don't need that much shampooing. However, it will get the job done. Remember not to forget your heat capping. So if you're heat capping once a week, don't forget that heat cap. You don't have to do it after the pool, but you cannot miss it for that week. You need to have that deep conditioner. I do recommend that people who swim a lot and are regular, I do suggest that they utilize the deep conditioning to help counteract the pool. So if you're not on once a week, but you're going to the pool once a week or twice a week, 3 times a week, then let's get on a regular deep heat capping session so that you can counteract the chlorine. So you need a swim cap, but it's not critical. You can still survive the chlorine. However, you do want to rinse and lightly shampoo. Remember, not too much massaging, just run it through, and that should be enough to get the chlorine out of your hair. And then, of course, the next step, when you heat cap, it will take the chlorine out of your hair as well. So the whole method of it is to keep it conditioned, and definitely rinse well and then apply your conditioner, and don't rinse. If the hair becomes still too dry, then maybe you need to heat cap more often or longer. You might find that many heat caps are really nice too, and that's when you just rinse and heat cap. You don't have to shampoo prior to your deep conditioning heat capping. So yeah, so we want to look at swimming and conditioning. We want to look at it hand in hand. So yes, if you're on medication or you have a blood, or should we say a long-term illness, then you might want to consider doing the heat capping more often, as well as keeping up with how your hair feels and how dry it feels, and whether or not your moisturizer is active and working. Sometimes some products say they give moisture, but they don't give enough. So you're always heat capping to get a little bit of moisture. So you need to really find a high intense moisturizer, and make it part of your routine. Conditioning, doing your mini conditioners in the evening, that really helps after you come home from the pool, or while you're in the steam room. You can have the conditioner on, and it just sinks right into your hair. Of course, before you go in the pool, you might have to rinse that out a little bit, because they don't want you to go into the pool with a lot of lotions and creams. So yes, you would apply your conditioners and so forth when you're out of the pool. But if you're just going into the steam room and you're not going into the pool, of course, that's a good time to apply your conditioner. Helps it sink in, gives it that deep conditioning. But remember, if you're not in an insulated heat capping conditioning cap, then you're not going to get maximum deep conditioning, but you will get deep into the cuticle. So what we want you to make sure is that you get deep into the cortex, which is the middle of the hair strand. As well, when you're conditioning the cuticle, you're deconditioning outside the hair strand. So the steam room will help you condition outside the hair strand. but that needs to be conditioned too, so it's okay. Okay. So conditioning, shampooing, all go hand in hand. I wouldn't do one without the other. If you keep shampooing, what you'll find is that the hair will need conditioning. And so we don't want to just shampoo and not use our conditioners. The shampoo strips everything away from the cuticle, so that makes it easier for the cuticle to be disturbed or to go through dehydration. So if we can keep up our heat capping, applying product, leaving it in. Remember, hair strand is fiber. It has fiber texture. And so that fiber is like a sponge. It will suck up a lot of product. And you might, excuse me, you might even notice that because you put product on and it disappears. And you're thinking, where did my product go? And that's one reason why I think people become so addicted to the oils, because they don't seem to be absorbed as fast. So they feel like they stay on longer, and they're really not um, staying on longer. As it is that they won't penetrate. So we want to make sure that after the pull, we're not using oil. We are definitely using conditioners, moisturizing conditioning. So when you shampoo, remember it's every 10 days, twice every 10 days. Don't over shampoo. And then, of course, when you do shampoo, I would like to see you shampoo twice within one shampoo session. We don't want to rub our hair. We want to pat our hair dry. We want our hair to be a dry damp. Sorry, getting tongue-tied. A dry damp prior to putting the conditioners on. And then you put them on heavily if you are going to get underneath the thin cap and get underneath the heat cap. So you want to condition, shampoo, as well as swimming. They go hand in hand. So let's try to remember that if you're swimming and if you're shampooing, if you're confused about shampooing. Thank you for sending the email questions to ditahair911@gmail.com. I will be definitely trying to get through. We only have one more post where I'll be finishing up 24, and that would be on stress. So right now, we are going over the emails that are from 24, but I should be done with 20 summary of 24 next within the next post. So we can start new, back to hair facts, and we can definitely start working on our conditioning knowledge. The first email question: will I always be heat capping every week? It depends on your health of your hair and how long your hair is, how much damage is done, how many layers of damage do you have. Heat capping once a week. For instance, if you are a diabetic, yes, you will be heat capping for once a week. It does affect your hair. The illness does have a tendency to make you dehydrated. So that's a problem for your hair. Other surgeries, such as bypass, kidney surgeries, cancer, they make your hair very thirsty. So we have to understand that, heat capping is what you need to counteract the medications, to counteract the dehydration. You want to stay hydrated. However, that's not always possible. So when you are dehydrated, your hair is too. And so you have to separately, moisturize your hair so it won't be as hydrated as you are. But it's also good to correct it in you. So when you correct it in you, then you correct it in your conditioning, you should take care and start to hydrate again. So yes, the heat capping once a week may be what you'll have to do as your hair routine. However, I've had young women that are doing great, and they have lots of vitamins and they stay hydrated. And so their health is not interrupted. So no, they can go to once a month. And you see how that works. It just depends on your circumstances and your hair, whether or not you will be heat capping once a week. However, if you're trying to clear up dehydration and other issues with your hair, you could probably look at heat capping once a week, at least for a year or two, because if you have long hair and You need to try to sustain that long hair until you get the hair that's not so damaged there. You can kind of see the difference in the hair texture, which is more damaged and which isn't. I think that's something that the client notices right away. Is their problems clearing up, or if their moisture is going away and they have the moisture support or moisture balance that they need. So yes, when you are heat capping, it does depend on the health of your hair and your activities, your lifestyle. For instance, if you're all healthy and you haven't been doing a lot of chemical services, then yes, why not? Heat cap every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, or every once a month. It's totally up to the person and the circumstances. Water, the water is my, when she heat caps, water is in her plastic cap, her thin plastic cap. So when you're heat capping, heat conditioning capping, heat conditioning, heat conditioning, no, heat capping. I think that's how it is. Okay. It's heat capping with conditioning. You have a thin plastic cap that goes on, and then you put on the heat cap itself. The thin cap is bought any dollar store, just a thin shower cap, generally very plastic and thin. And so you put that on. But what she's experiencing is water in the bottom of the heat cap. And so, or the plastic cap. So the hair just leaks water. And that's because the conditioner goes deep into the hair shaft. And so it pushes out the water-loving molecules. They're big, and the hair would prefer to absorb the conditioner, which is much smaller molecule. And so it pushes out the water. So it's a good sign that your hair has traded in the conditioner or traded in the water for the conditioner. However, it does probably take an extra towel around your neck while you're heat capping. As you get stronger and your hair can hold more moisture, then that will stop. You won't always have that problem. Or should we say you won't always have that sign or that side effect. But I have it, and I heat cap all the time. So it might be your character of your hair to do that because it just needs the conditioning so much more. So it might just be something that you allow, the hair will get conditioned enough, will it outgrow it, or it might mean that that's your hair and it needs a heat capping really bad when you give it. So make sure you stay on top of your heat capping, and you'll know what type of heat capping you need. Third question, when should I go 100% gray? Yes, that is a personal question. A lot of times when you start going gray, it might be due to your lifestyle. Sometimes the chemical upkeep is just too much. But it could be that your hair no longer can take it health-wise. So those are other decisions that make you say, I've got to go gray. If you don't have time to do all the conditioning for the coloring, then it's best to go gray. This lighter colors are in now. Older women are wearing the gray hair and looking great. So there's no fear in going gray. It's just when you decide that you no longer want the upkeep of a color, how gray are you? I have some clients that are only a little bit of gray. So the color is great for them because it takes 10 years off your age. And of course, I loved the color when I was doing hair color. But yes, my lifestyle and being an influencer and sort of forced me to go silver because the upkeep was more than what I could do and keep up the swimming as well. So I needed to concentrate more on conditioning than I did on coloring. So I was at the age, so I figured why not. So you embrace your gray hair and enjoy going gray. But yes, you can determine if you want to go gray, if your health really needs the conditioning all the time, the 24/7 conditioning. And if you don't have the time to condition your chemical services, then of course you need to maybe stop some of them, because if you can't take care of them properly, then you'll always be fighting hair damage. And we want to be at peace with our hair. We don't always want to be struggling with some type of hair damage, which in the lifestyle of a hair, you're going to get there because of age or because of health. Our hair lives a life with us. It doesn't just separate from us. Some people say that it's part of the nervous system. And so we will be talking more about that next post because that's our ending post summary. I want to thank you for coming. I would like to thank you for staying. I really appreciate your hair questions sent to ditahair911@gmail.com. You can visit me on my Facebook, Dita Damaged Hair. There you can find me talking with other followers about their hair damage. Maybe that information can help you. I hope that I've helped you condition today a little bit better than you were before you met me. I hope that this channel gives you control over your damaged hair. We don't have to sit at home and cry about our damage. Uh, so if you like to push the notification button, and it's free to subscribe, I would appreciate that. Great motivation for me to keep the channel. I have no sponsors. I'm doing this for you. I would like to see you be at peace with your hair damage and take control of it and end it. We don't have to live with the hair damage we live with. I want to thank you again for coming to my post, and check me out one more time if it's your second time being here. If it's your first time being here, I really am glad to have you. Thank you so much. Now, go have a good hair day. Thank you.